Hey everybody, Paul here. You know, when we first moved to Mexico back in 2015, one thing that really caught my eye was how many license plates I saw from South Dakota. I was seeing them literally everywhere, especially when we took a trip to Baja. They were everywhere. I was surprised because I rarely saw them in the US. I mean, it's a state with a population of less than 900,000 people. But here's the interesting thing. When I started talking to these folks, supposedly from South Dakota, none of them were from South Dakota. So what's going on here? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm going to tell you why thousands of Americans are registering their vehicles in a state they've never lived in and how they're doing it. In fact, I'm going to show you how to do it too. So if that sounds interesting, don't forget to give me a like. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I'm less than 5,000 subscribers away from my goal of 100,000 subscribers. You can help me get there, okay? All right, let's get started. Unlike most states in the Union, South Dakota is an open registration state, meaning that they'll allow anyone to register a car there even if they've never lived there. You don't even have to go to South Dakota to do it. You can do it all by mail. I'm going to show you how in the second part of this video. But first, why are people doing this? Well, it turns out there are a couple of significant advantages for Americans who move to Mexico and want to take their US plated vehicle with them. And we're talking about cars from other states. And here are those advantages. With a South Dakota license plate, you do not have to maintain US insurance for the registration to be valid. This one is huge. I have friends who brought their cars from other states like Florida, and they had to maintain insurance in the US, even though they never had any intention of returning to the US. Otherwise, the registration would be suspended and their driver's license in that state would be suspended. With South Dakota, that's not an issue. Here's another reason people told me why they got South Dakota license plates, and that is that they want to sever all ties with the state they came from because there was a state income tax, like in California. So they couldn't keep a California registration on their car, right? Well, South Dakota solved that too. So now that you see the advantage of getting South Dakota license plates, I'm going to tell you how to do it. This information comes from the helpful folks at the Clay County Treasurer's Office in South Dakota. First thing you have to do is fill out some paperwork because, well, life's a bureaucracy, all right? But lucky for you, I've uploaded all of the forms to my server and I put links to them in the description section of this video. This part comes from Clay County. As long as your documents are complete, when we contact you, and not me, Clay County, we will have a total ready for payment. You can complete the payment with a card over the phone or through an email link provided, or mail in a cashier's check or money order for the total due. When payment is complete, we'll mail you your license plates and registration. Your South Dakota vehicle title comes separately from our state office about 10 to 12 weeks after you receive your license plates. Now, they're not going to mail them to Mexico, I already tell you that, but they'll mail them anywhere in the US. So let's go through our paperwork, okay? You need to complete and sign the South Dakota title application. Remember, there are links to all of these documents in the description section of this video. I've also included Form 101, common answers to questions about the application, all right? So look for that there also. You must also include a current odometer reading for any vehicle 2011 or newer. The next thing you need to send them is the original title or origin certificate, MCO or MSO, not a copy. This document cannot be listed as export or have any foreign address listed anywhere on the title. That part's really important for you folks who want to be expats, all right? If your vehicle title is currently being held by a loan and you don't have the original title document, you will need to first request that original title form from the lender. You can't do it without it, all right? The next thing you need is a bill of sale or purchase agreement. If this is a new purchase to you, the bill of sale or reassignment form cannot have any foreign or Mexican address on it. Again, super important. The bill of sale must include a purchase date and price and be signed by the seller of the vehicle. You'll need to send them a copy of your US issued non-expired driver's license or US issued ID for the title. And if two people are going on the title, they're going to need to have those documents for both people. Very important. Next thing you need is a copy of proof of Social Security number for everyone going on the title. A copy of your Social Security card or a copy of your tax document 1099 or W-2 must show your full Social Security number, not just the 4 digits. The next thing on the list is proof of taxes paid with a receipt. And this is needed for any vehicle title under your current ownership with a title issue date within 2 years from today's date. If you don't have that, you'll be required to pay taxes to the state of South Dakota on the current NAD book value of that vehicle. You don't want to do that, right? So make sure you have that tax receipt. If you paid tax to the dealership when you purchased the vehicle, there's an additional piece of paperwork to fill out, and that's a tax verification document that you're actually going to have to take and have the dealership fill out, but I've attached that too, all right? I'm just trying to make your life easy here. If this is a private sale or you pay taxes directly to the state or county where you reside, then there's another form for it. There's an Applicant Tax Verification form that you need to fill out and have signed. You're also going to need to include a copy of the receipt showing those taxes paid. For any trailer, recreational vehicle, or travel trailer, they will also need proof of empty weight. You're also going to need to know the length. And this part's a little bit more technical, it's about weight. If the unladen UVW curb weight, empty weight is not listed on the title, you're going to need to provide proof with a printed document found in your vehicle brochure or online, or by a scale weight ticket to prove the weight. This cannot be GVW or gross vehicle weight. The length of the vehicle can be written next to the model in vehicle information. I know some folks living in Mexico who like to keep everything like in an LLC name or something. If that's what you're doing with your vehicle, they're also going to need proof of the EIN number with the IRS form SS4, along with the driver's license and social security card of company owners. That already sounds more complicated. Just put the thing in your name, all right? And this last one is super important, contact information. So the folks processing your paperwork at Clay County said, please enclose a phone number and email address with paperwork, because that's how they need to contact you. Some people just don't do that, and you really need to do that. That's going to be located in section E of the form 1001, the SD title application. And where are you going to find that? In the description section of this video. Links to everything. Once you get all of this paperwork together, you're going to need to mail it to the Clay County Treasurer at 211 West Main Street, Suite 201 in Vermillion, South Dakota, 57069. You didn't have to write that down. The address is right here on the screen, and I'm going to put it in the description section, all right? The folks at Clay County also recommend that you send this some kind of registered or certified mail, since you're sending an original title certificate. I mean, you don't want that to get lost, right? Well, there you have it. That's how you can get a South Dakota title for your car and South Dakota license plates. Piece of cake, right? Well, until next time, hasta luego.